Hi, in the previous lesson we learned HTML commands. Today we'll introduce CSS. What is CSS? CSS, or Cascading Style Sheets, is a language used to style and format HTML documents. While HTML defines the structure and content of the web page, CSS controls its appearance, including colors, fonts, layouts, and spacing. With CSS, you can change the look of the text and the background, adjust spacing sizes and alignment of elements, make websites responsive for different screen sizes, tablets, laptops, computers, or smartphones. This is a theory lesson. This lesson is more theory focused. We'll learn how CSS works, its basic syntax, and some core styling rules. And in the next lesson we'll do hands-on practice applying those styles to a real HTML page. How does CSS work? CSS applies styles to HTML elements through rules that use selectors, which use elements, and properties, the attributes you want to change. Here is an example. P curl bracket, color blue, font size 16 pixels, closing curl bracket. This selects all the pre-paragraph tags elements that change their text colors to blue and font size to 16 pixels. You can also style with classes and IDs in CSS. Sometimes you might want to style specific elements directly. The class attribute is used for styling multiple elements with the same design. In CSS, we tell that is a class with a dot, and ID is used for styling one unique element, and it starts with a hashtag. Here are some examples of attributes that you can add to almost any element HTML that you want. Here class highlight, it would appear in CSS as .highlight curly brackets, and ID special would appear as hashtag special curly brackets. Inside the curly brackets we write the commands that we use for styling. How to connect CSS to HTML? To use CSS in a web page, you connect a style sheet to your HTML file. This is done in the head section. We do this by writing link rel style sheet. This tells that the browser this is a CSS file that we are connecting to the HTML file, and have in this case style.css, but you can name the file any way you want, and this tells the path to your CSS file. And if you watched the previous lesson, you have learned how to use folders and connect two folders in HTML to different files, and it applies also here. Once connected, all the styles in CSS will apply to the HTML. So if I have wrote the example from above that I want to target all the paragraph tags elements and I want them to be colorable and font size 16 pixels, it would appear as it is because it is already in the CSS file. I just need to save the CSS file and the HTML file and to run them to see the changes. Let's summarize. CSS is essential for making websites visually appealing and user-friendly. In this lesson, we learned what is a CSS and what it can do, how it connects to HTML, the structure of CSS rules, selectors, and properties. In the next lesson, as I said already, we'll learn more CSS commands and put them into practice by creating a linking HTML CSS file to style an actual web page that we will write in the next lesson. If you enjoyed the video, please hit like, subscribe, share, follow on Instagram, and watch the next video if it's already out. See ya, bye!